people. Okay. Hello, everybody. How everybody is doing? It's so nice to see all of you. And it's so nice to see all of you. And it is an honor. And thank you so much for being here. I know it's Black Friday. I know it's a holiday. You could have been anywhere else, but you decided to be here. So it is huge honor. So first of all, let me know in the chat where are you joining from. Let me know in the chat where are you joining where you're joining me from. So the way my event is going to go today. So I'm going to give you like a short presentation about really the messaging, the business planning, how to connect your numbers and how to connect your a level of effort is required indeed. And after that, our amazing guests will be joining us and will be sharing their wisdom and sharing more about their business. So, uh, let me go ahead and start sharing my screen. Um, and also, as you are joining, as you are in the chat, my invitation for you is to participate. This is not a lecture. This is rather like two-sided conversation. This is a two-sided conversation. So that's why I encourage everybody participate in the chat. I encourage everybody ask your like if you have questions, drop your questions in the chat. Drop your insights in the chat if somebody is resonating with you. All right. So let's go, people. All right. So welcome to Black Friday for Black businesses. And today we are going to talk about one thing that a lot of it's either like a lot of businesses are great at that or not. So we're going to talk about really what is required to hit your numbers because we often have this magic number in our head, but sometimes we're missing like step by step detail, like short destinations to get there. So, drop me in the chat. Let me know in the chat what kind of what club you belong to. Do you plan for the entire year at the end of the year? So, meaning you have your calendar book, you know your marketing campaign, you know your content calendar, you know what you need to do and you know the level of effort that is required for the next year? Or are you more month by month or week by week? How do you plan your business? Because listen, like whether you want it or not, you do planning in your business, right? And the more clarity you have in your planning, the more the better it is. Like month by month by month. Okay, so we're gonna talk about it. So no matter if you month by month or year by year. So my promise to you for today. So if you're not sure where to start with your planning, because listen, I can totally relate to that because there are so many uncertainties in our businesses. Sometimes I don't know what to put on my calendar. So my promise to you, uh, you're gonna walk away with exact roadmap, or at least you will know how to think about your planning moving forward. That's my promise to you. Also, I know in 2024 we have seen such an interesting shift in um other businesses where it's like strategies that used to work before may not work anymore, or people tried other strategies for their businesses. And sometimes it is sometimes it is confusing and people are unsure what is working right now and what is not working right now. So uh, I'm gonna give you examples. Like, I'm not gonna give you a magic formula. I'm not gonna give you exactly what to do because it's not about what to do. It's about how to think. But I'm gonna show you examples what was working in 2024 for other businesses. So let's go ahead and get started. If you're new to me, who I am, I'm a business strategist. My name is Eugene Berezin. I'm a mentor. I am a clinical psychologist and software engineer. I used to own a private practice in Moscow, Russia. I was working in behavioral health in the US. I moved to the United States 11 years ago, and I'm a software engineer. So, and when it comes to software engineering and coding, I'm a mobile developer. So what is my unique ability? How I can help people? I help high impact business owners with their positioning and their messaging to attract premium clients. This is what I'm good at. This is how I help people. So why am I here? And why I'm hosting Black Friday for Black businesses today. So my big mission, my big why, I'm on the mission to close the wealth gap for marginalized businesses, for marginalized communities. And Black and Latino communities are very near and dear to my heart because 11 years ago, when I moved here, the only communities that accepted me as an equal human being were Black and Latino communities. So, who is my big who? Like who this presentation, who this event is for. So this event and who I'm working with, I'm working with service-based entrepreneurs, coaches, speakers, thought leaders, and people who provide services, any kind of services. You can be a coach, you can be a mentor, you can be a therapist, you can be a consultant, you can be a freelancer. So if you fit in one of those categories, this event is absolutely for you and you will absolutely benefit from it. So, your goal numbers are probably wrong. So, let me explain. So, here's the thing, a lot of business owners, and let me know in the chat if it is you. Let me know in the chat if it is you. A lot of business owners, they come up with a magic number for their business goals. And normally that magic number is, I don't know, like maybe you were in a mentorship program or in a coaching program, and in the business in communities, we often set our numbers either out of hype or out of hope. So we come up with a magic number, and then if we're not hitting that number, we might be disappointed. So my invitation to you today is actually set 3 financial goals, and it makes your life so much easier, y'all. So let's start with a stretch goal. And last week I was doing a live stream, and people were asking me like, "What is a stretch goal? What is a good goal? What is a must achieve baseline goal?" So you're like all of those 3 goals that you have in mind, they all must be achievable. And your stretch goal, even though the goal, the idea with a stretch goal is not necessarily achieve your stretch goal. Even if you achieve 20% of your stretch goal, it is a good outcome and it's for you to grow. Can you achieve the stretch goal? Absolutely. When you achieve, in fact, if you achieve your stretch goal, then it's a signal for you that you are at the next level, or you're putting yourself in a small box. You need to aim higher. So normally with a stretch goal, like like if you touch at least 10%, this is a huge achievement. Now let's talk about a good goal. So there are 2 versions of good goal. Either you might be in the maintenance mode when you made money, and your goal for 2025 is rather like, I want to maintain what I have, and I'm going to document and standardize my business operations that I already have. This is a good goal. Another example of a good goal is like, I would like to grow in 2025. In a good goal, good growth goal would be, I would say anything from 5 to 30% for your business. Like, okay, I was doing really well in 2024, or maybe like I was not quite doing quite well in 2024, so I need to grow a little bit. I need to put a little bit more effort on growth, and 5 to 20%, it's absolutely reasonable goal for your business growth. Now, your baseline goal is when you're comfortable, you can cover your expenses, you can cover your livelihood, you can cover your bills, you can cover like you are not desperate, but at the same time, maybe like you're not necessarily growing. It's just your baseline, your bare minimum income that you produce from your business. It's like, okay, I must make that amount of money in order to pay my bills, pay my business expenses, and have a little bit of joy in my life, have a little bit of joy from my business. Because listen, entrepreneurship is hard. And I would say when you plan your baseline financial goal, you must plan your joy injections. You must plan for self care because you are your biggest asset. And if you don't put yourself on the calendar, if you don't put your rest on the calendar, if you don't put your joy injections on the calendar, it's very easy to sacrifice that. So, and it absolutely goes in your must achieve goal. Now, in order to achieve any of those goals, it is important to keep in mind those three big numbers when it comes to like pretty much any business. It's your lead conversion, it's your lead generation, it's your lead conversion, and it's your customer retention. And spoiler alert, the easy money, and I will never say, I normally never say that phrase or those words. I normally say easy money, but like the easy money from your business is from customer retention. And we're going to talk about that like a little bit later in the presentation. But let's talk about the heavy lifting. Let's talk about, let's start with your top of funnel. Let's start from your lead generation. So your lead generation is indeed the heaviest lift in your business. It's how many people how many people you need to come to your business or get in touch with. So, what is a lead? A lead is a business, is a person, is an entity that gave you permission to or gave you ability to actually contact them on your terms. It can be on your email list, it can be in your social network, meaning you can get in touch with that entity, with that person on your own terms. This is a lead. Now, how many leads you actually need to make your numbers profitable? It depends on your conversion rate. So I have a formula for the conversion rate. Let me know in the chat. Do you know your conversion rate? When was the last time you actually calculated your conversion rate? Because what is really surprising to me, a lot of business owners that I talk to, they kind of don't know their conversion rate, or like they may not be quite sure how to calculate that conversion rate. But this is the sobering, it's either exciting number or sobering number for your business. And this is essential to keep an eye on your conversion rate. So the way you calculate your conversion rate is you take total of number of conversions, and the conversion, what is a conversion is when people say yes, either when people say yes to being in like in your network, on your email list, on your presentation, on like at your event, or on your sales call, on your consultation. This is a conversion. So you take the total number of yeses and you divide by total number of leads, by total amount of people that you got in touch and say, hey, like come here, or uh, total amount of visitors of your landing page, total amount of contacts that you set, and you multiply it by 100, and this is your conversion rate. So now there are three types of conversion rate: cold conversion, messy middle, and final sales conversion. So uh, the cold conversion is when people don't know anything about you and they say, you know what, you sound really good, you like it sounds like something that I would be interested in. This is your cold conversion. Miss and middle is when people say initial yes and people follow that. For example, for my event today, I have about 50% miss and middle conversion rate. For events it's a little different, for sales calls it's a little different. So and messy middle, like, so how to get your messy middle numbers up to par? This is your follow-up game. Like this is your follow-up game. This is when you remind people to actually come to your event, to actually register and actually make sure that they're gonna attend. And the final conversion rate, it's your sales conversion rate. So what what are oh what are the good numbers for your conversion rate? So industry standard for service-based businesses, call conversion and sales conversion is about 18 to 40%, 18 to 30%. This is industry standard. However, there's like something that I'm noticing with a lot of providers. You might have a very good sales conversion rate, meaning you have 10 sales calls, you have 10 consultations, and five people close, you have 50% conversion rate. But the frequency of those conversions are rather sporadic. So that means you need more leads. You need more people into your ethos, and you need to increase frequency of those conversions. Like that's like and that and that's one number. So now how what really stands in the way, like what really stands in the way, and how to like what is the perfect way to generate lead to attract people to your ethos. So like they might be there might be not a perfect strategy or a perfect um magic formula. Like I said, I don't have a magic formula. Like any strategy works. It's not necessarily the how. It's really about the who. Who do you need to become? It comes with your authority, with your positioning, and your authority and your positioning and your offer positioning, and it is your energy. It comes from your heart, and it comes from your attitude. It comes from your mindset. This is the first one, because everything is energy. And if you are not in your authority, if you are not in the right energy, if you're not in the right fortitude and alignment with your offer, it shows. Also, your messaging. Who are you attracting? Who are you talking to? And do people, does your market fit? Does your community understands you? Like, do you communicate at the same frequency with the same, or using the same language that your community actually resonates with? And it's and also, do you like, does your energy attracts the right people, or do you repel your people? Because listen, a great messaging will attract people and repel people. We must repel people who are not our ideal candidate, who are not our ideal customer, and we must attract people who are our customers, who are our people. So again, it comes with a powerful positioning and energy, compelling messaging to attract premium clients. And for premium clients, you must have premium messaging that they resonate. And it's a and the final point is your streamlined sales process, which like I'm gonna give you a little bit more examples on that during presentation in this presentation. Now, what actually works in 2025? So what is actually working in 2025? I want to show you examples that work for my clients. So, like, and we're gonna hear from some of my clients today. We're gonna hear from Donovan today. So, what works for Donovan really, really well? And I want you to hear that loud and clear, because we're often chasing quick results. We want put something on the social media and get a sale. We wanna we want to go live and make a sale. But what worked for Donovan and his community building, and Donovan has been building community for ages before even he like really come out with his more premium offer. It's live streams, it's his online presence and live streams and conferences, in-person events. And this is how exactly he got to that point. We like clear understanding of your why. Why are you in business? Why are you doing your business? Like under deep understanding of your big why is essential. Another thing, understanding of your big who, your qualified customer, your ideal qualified customer, not just your ICP, ideal customer profile, but your ideal qualified customer, who is the best person for your services. And then elevating the level of awareness of your customers, because at any given point, people are either problem unaware, problem aware, solution aware, and product aware and most aware. I would like really simplify it. Like they either problem unaware, they don't know what the problem is. They know what the problem is, but they don't know the solution. And now they might be aware of the solution. And at that stage, how do you differentiate yourself among all other solutions? Also, strategic partnerships. So Donovan actually partnered with conferences that recorded his promotional videos, right? About his why, about his business, and allow him to present and sell on stage. And when he got that confirmation, what we immediately did, we immediately come up with a sell from stage speech plan. And that sell from stage speech plan, yeah, pitch plan is you can use for your webinars, you can use for your master classes, you can use for your live streams. This is what was working in 2024 for my client. Another example for this client, podcast, LinkedIn community, and networking was working great. She did not do conferences or anything like that. She had a strong messaging and she had a podcast. But what was really help, like she really needed a help with her final sales conversion. And she is brand strategist for beauty brands for um, women of color who make produce for people of color. And she was working with a lot of emerging brands. And what was like what was not working at the beginning of the year is actually final sales conversion. So what we did was first of all, we shift the positioning on the sales call because the positioning online was perfect, but the positioning in the sales call was a little bit wonky. So we clarified the positioning and she doubled her conversion rate. I do not have the permission to really like say the exact numbers, but if you picture like a teacher's salary, like like senior teacher, mid-level teacher, and divide it in half, this is how much money that consultant made in one single day once the positioning, the price, and the messaging was aligned. Again, I can promise that it was like that you're gonna do exact same thing, like because you might have different business. But this is what was working in 2024. Podcast, LinkedIn community, and networking. Another thing, like podcast, LinkedIn community, and YouTube. And with that, like again, all of those people, it was working because of the positioning, because of the messaging, and because of the community, right? Like if you start noticing what is the common denominator, it is the messaging, it is positioning, it is the community. And what we did, we actually closed his conversion. We increased his conversion, well, lead generation by 60%. We got 50 calls per month, and we start working with on the link qualification because a lot of people I hear like I need more leads, I need more leads, I need more leads. You don't necessarily need more leads, you need more qualified leads because my client got 50 calls per month, and then we start refining the process, how many leads we actually get to the door, because having 50 sales calls per month is exhausting. You need, at that point, you need a salesperson to handle your sales calls. But we refined here, like the initial offer, we refined the messaging, and we really improved the consultative sales. And consultative sales is when you actually when you actually have a conversation with an elevated buyer. So now, let's talk about the good news. Let's talk about the good news. Let's talk about easy money. So, this is customer retention is actually easy money. So, this is why it is easy money, because once people bought from you and you deliver amazing services, you you created connection and people are happy to work with you. Now, like there's much less resistance for them to either go higher, because every good solution will create another problem in a good way. It goes growth, or Maybe people want to stay in your container for a longer time, maybe for another iteration. So you can do customer ascension. So you can create offer for the next problem that you will solve for your customers, or it's a customer retention. So in 2024, for me personally, this is a huge help with my business because we don't always want to, like, when we are in a tougher time and our top of funnel is a little bit slower, our conversion is a little slower. This is where the power comes to our business. This is where additional stream of income comes, like, to our business from customer ascension and from customer retention. And another thing, reactivation campaigns. You all have previous clients. So I would say that follow up with your past clients is a must. How many people would like to work with you again? Maybe you have a different offer. Maybe you refined your offer and made it better. Or maybe they again need your services or would like to work with you. Reactivation campaign, it is the most overlooked uh, income generation for businesses. We think that we need to pursue new people, new businesses, new people every single time. But the reality is, you actually, like, yes, you need fresh leads, you need fresh people in your business. But also, like, if you are neglecting your previous customers and existing customers, like, you're leaving money on the table. And this is why I say this is easier money than the top of funnel. Now, um, my invitation for you today. So, if your positioning, if your messaging, if your sales process is the priority for you for 2025, my invitation for you, I have a one-on-one mentorship program. What my focus for in my mentorship program is a clear and compelling messaging to attract premium clients, profitable revenue and strategic sales systems. Again, we focus on consultative sales, we focus on lead conversion, and more importantly, that confidence in your offer, like and the energy that you need with your offer, confidence with yourself, confidence with your offer. And do you love your offer? Are you confident in your offer? You might be confident in yourself, but are you confident with your offer? So, uh, this is how I work with my clients. I work with my clients for 6 months iteration. It's one-on-one mentorship with me. We do weekly calls, and also I do on-demand support. Like, I like chatting with my clients in the DMs or in the private Slack community. And also, what you're not gonna get from me, you're not gonna get another module to watch, because my philosophy: you are building a business. You're not here to watch another video. You're not here to watch another tutorial. You're not here to watch another masterclass. You are here to watch to build a business. So, if there, I do have a curriculum. I do have a process that I go through with my clients. And if you need additional resources for your business, I will provide those resources because I do have previous lessons with my clients. If you need those lessons, I will share them with you. But, like, I'm not gonna have you to watch like 50 modules and taking time away from your business, because I'm very much hands-on, practical approach. I'm building business with you. It's not about Netflix and chill for entrepreneurs. It's about actually doing the work. And now, uh, technical support. Listen, I'm a software engineer, as you said. Business is already overwhelming, okay? Business is already overwhelming. Tech should not overwhelm you. Tech is actually very easy. Tech is actually very easy. So, if you need help with your automation, with your email list, with all things tech related, like, I'm here to help. And in fact, we have a community. We have Donovan too. So in the community, he is a software engineer. He's a web developer. So, like we have a community of people who are very proficient in tech, and for Black Friday only. So it's not about, like, listen, it's not about making a deal. It's not about making a sale. But I would like to, because you show up today, because you show up for yourself today, I would like to give you an exclusive offer. So normally my onboarding call is just 1 hour. I offer you a 90-minute onboarding session, and if you, I don't know if you anything like me, like I would like to have a plan from day one with my coach. I don't want to wait for 6 months to actually execute the plan. So you're gonna like we're gonna come out with a strategy for your business model, for your messaging, for your positioning, and we're gonna execute on that plan with throughout 6 months. Now, what is the investment? Listen, a lot of businesses, what I'm noticing, a lot of businesses, they will give you the discount, like the discounted price, but it's actually not the discounted price. So if you ever had a conversation with me after March, you know my previous price was 48.87, like facts. You can check your emails if you were on my email list. But for for Black Friday only, I am offering you $1,000 off. So the pay in full is 39.87. You can split it in two by 21.17, or you can put you can use the payment plan of $1,600 today and 550 for an additional 5 payments every single month. So up to you. There's also an option with Klarna and Afterpay. So if those payment options are not quite feasible for you, and you would like to go with the third party app, with the third party option, it is available to you. I will be sharing a link here shortly. But this is the investment, in my opinion, painful. It is always the best deal. So like when I sign up with my coaches, I always painful because like I'm personally saving a lot of money with that. So now let me go through FAQs really quick, and I will be sharing the stage with my guests, with other business owners. So people often ask me, my business is not profitable right now. Should I invest in my business? Um, or can I invest when I actually get more clients? My answer to you, your business, there's no way for us to really get to profit and like to get wealthy for free, right? We like a lot of the time we experience difficulties and challenges in our businesses because we have blind spots. And until you see your blind spots, it's really like it's rather difficult to get from that rut, right? It's rather difficult to get out of that difficult situation. So working with a mentor, especially working with a mentor one-on-one, and this is personally what was beneficial for me, for my business, can actually benefit you. So my invitation for you is actually bet on yourself and bet on your business. So the price is too expensive. I can afford it right now. So here's the thing about the price. Like, if you are in a very vulnerable situation, hey, like, I really can't afford it right now. Like, this is really not feasible. I have free resources. I have YouTube channel. I post content for free. I do live streams. Like, you can utilize that content. But also, I would like to challenge you on that. Every time you're not signing a client, every time you're not making a deal, you actually lose, like you're actually losing money. You're actually leaving money on the table. You're actually leaving money on the table. So uh, you are paying the price regardless. Either you're investing in yourself or you're paying the cost of inaction. You're leaving money on the table. Now, can I reach out to you next year? Listen, you can reach out to me at any point of time. It can be next year, it can be the year after. But money loves speed, and success loves speed. If you know this is for you, even if you want to start our engagement, let's say in January, you can start in January, absolutely. But you can secure your spot right now, and your 6 months will start from January or February, right? Like at now on your success. Like this is important. Like, listen, I don't know about you, but when I know it is for me, it is for me, and I make decisions quick and fast. So like that's my personal advice to you. So what I can expect from working with you, what is your guarantee? So I can guarantee you one thing. First of all, I'm going to show up for you, and I want to work with you, and I can guarantee if you implement my step-by-step process, your messaging will get a lot more clear. It's not more about what to do, is about how to think. Because your offer can change, your business can change, your business model can change. And with that, you need to change your positioning and your messaging. And it's not about what to do, it's more so about how to think. So my guarantee to you is like I will give you the framework how to think. Now, when people work with me, the best case scenario, like again, the best case scenario was with this client. She actually got her sale after a couple of calls. Now, normally people get their first transformation, like their first progress probably in about like 2 or 3 months, like in 90 days period or so, or close to 90 days period, if everything goes smooth, or at least at the mark of 90 days, we can test out your messaging and test out your positioning and see what we need to change. Now, I'm not a coach. Will this work for me? She's not a coach. She's not a coach, and it worked for her really, really well. So, I'm not a beginner. I'm good with my messaging. Will this work for me? You don't have listen, I work with more established business owners, and like if your messaging is good, if your positioning is good, if you're good with your business, ask yourself, do you have a documented process on your positioning and on your messaging? Is it documented, and do you have a system in place for your messaging and for your positioning? If you were to take a sabbatical in January for, I don't know, like for 6 months, will your business work? Do you have a way to automate your messaging in a way that your business can be sustainable without you, and you can delegate your messaging, and you translate your positioning so other people can support that? Do you have that in your business? And if the answer is no, let's work together on standardizing and documenting and really solidifying that foundation so you can take a break from your business, so like your business is not solely dependent on you. Now, I already have a coach. Listen, this is the most like common question that I hear from people. Every sustainable business needs a board of trusted advisors. I always work with multiple coaches, and it's always good to have like different perspective. Again, my specialty is positioning, is messaging, and sales process. So your coach might be working with you on something else. It can be like, I don't know, like Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever it is. And I don't know about you, and I don't know about your coach, but I'm always happy to like get in touch with your coach and like rather work on the strategy that work for you with their methodology. So uh, with that, I would like to share the stage with our presenter. So, Ian, give me one quick second. So, and our next presenter is Elizabeth. And thank you, by the way, everybody who showed up. I will be sharing all of the details in the chat, but let's welcome our guest, Elizabeth. Hello, my friend.
Hi, how are you?
I'm
So
good.
my immediate disclaimer, I'm doing this from home and my two teenage sons literally just appeared on my porch to walk in from basketball practice. I texted them I was on this meeting, but if you hear them come in and say something strange, they get it from their dad,
It's
not
okay.
me. Just want y'all to know that up front. It's not me. That's the other side. No, just excited to be here. Thanks so much for the opportunity to come and to share and to be a part of this conversation. Definitely agree with everything that you said. I love the information that you were giving out. One of the things that you talked about that I really love is that conversion rate and reverse engineering and going backwards. And as someone, I'm a full stack digital marketer. So for those who are not familiar with me, I'll just give a quick blurb. My history is a full stack digital marketer. Worked in corporate initially, including for the Department of Defense, Navy Federal Credit Union. Worked with some brands as a freelancer that you guys have heard of, like Calendly. Worked with Dosado. So I've worked with some spaces, and what I focus on is the strategy of creating integrated social media so that your marketing all works together to create a cohesive channel. What I found as a full stack digital marketer is that a lot of businesses were not doing that, and I find that if it's happening at the corporate level and at bigger, it definitely translate down to the smaller level as well. Also, where a lot of times we treat social media as sort of a standalone thing in our whole marketing ecosystem. And as Eugene was saying, one of those biggest things we need to do to get conversions is to drive that traffic. And so often we look at social media as our sales channel, and it can be a sales channel. Of course, we can get people to click links and buy, but also it is, as a marketing channel, it is an excellent place to drive traffic to where we want people to go. And so when we're creating that content strategy and we're thinking about working that reverse engineering, as he was saying, so you're thinking about, here's how much money I want to make this year, this quarter, this month. I like to start, I'm gonna be fully honest, I like to start like, this is how much money I need to make this year. My business needs to make this much because it's going to cost me this much to run it. And this is how much I need to feed those teenage boys because they play sports, they eat a lot, and grocery is like, this inflation is out of control. So I need to know how much needs to get in my pocket. So I start with that revenue piece, and then I say, okay, to make this much in a year, I need to make this much in a quarter. I need to make this much in a month. Here's my two main offers. Here's how much of this offer one I need to sell, how much of offer two I need to sell. Everything else is lagniappe. If you're not from Louisiana, my Louisiana people, my Creole people, that's just a little something extra. So main two offers is where I'm focused. Everything else is lagniappe. And so then when we're looking at it, we say, okay, how much traffic, as Eugene was saying, do I need to get these conversions? I know my conversion rate. If you don't know your conversion rate, if you haven't been tracking that, utilize these tools we have. Utilize ChatGPT, utilize Gemini from Google. Really, Gemini from Google is definitely going to have a lot of that information too, because it's Google. So go into Gemini and ask Gemini, what is the average conversion rate for a social media strategist who is working for you? Get specific about who you are and what you're doing, because that information is out there. And people like me, crazy people, we pay for that information and then we put it in blogs and then because of all kind of stuff. And so then Google can go get it and they can pull it and bring it to you a lot faster than it would take you to go search it. You can use AI, ChatGPT or Gemini to pull that information. So you know about my average, maybe I should be averaging about this much. So I have at least an idea of where to start from if I haven't been tracking my numbers. And then you're able to go back and say, okay, where am I going to get this traffic from? Eugene showed so many different strategies that work for different people. Like he said, there's no magic process. That's why it's important to have a coach to get with someone who could say, hey, if you don't know how to make this happen, if you don't know how to drive traffic, here's what I think is going to work for you. Someone like you who can come in and look at your full picture and say, hey, here's where you have, here's where you need to do the work. Here's why we get that in. So you know where your conversion rates are going to be. And then you say, here's what I'm going to do. If you're going to do LinkedIn, I think we saw one that had LinkedIn, podcasting, and maybe YouTube, or LinkedIn, podcasting, and networking. Okay, so I need to make 50 sales. That means I need to get 1,000 leads. And this may not be true for, I'm just throwing numbers out here and my math ain't great, okay? So if it's messed up, don't talk to God about it. Okay, so 50 leads. I need to get 1,000 leads so I can make 50 sales because that's where my conversion rate is. All 1,000 of those leads doesn't mean I need to get 1,000 social media followers. Right. And I see so often that clicks in people's head. I need 1,000 leads. So I need 1,000 social media followers. I need 10,000 social media followers. No, I may need 500 social media followers and I may need 30 of them to click on my link because only 20% of my leads are going to come from social media, but maybe 60% of my leads are going to come from my podcast, and maybe 15% of my leads are going to come from here. So we have a whole ecosystem of people who are bringing leads to me, and I need to know how social media fits into that. Not where we get this idea so often that social media is the end all and be all of my marketing. Social media is extremely important. As someone is a social media strategist, I get paid for people for me to tell people how to show up on social media, how to have them, as how to be there, how to do that. So for me to tell you that you also need these other things is like me almost taking money out of my pocket, but not necessarily, because I'm telling you that it's not just about the social media, but really wanting to use it to drive that traffic to these other things, to keep it integrated as a part of something else, so that when you're showing up on social media, it's not just, and I forgot what you said earlier, it's like you said, hope and hype. We don't want to show up on social media for hope and hype and, just posting different videos and saying, what does the algorithm want? What is this and that? And this is the last thing I'll leave you with and pass it on to my co-speakers here. Is when it comes to social media and it comes to showing up on there, the algorithm is not your friend. And I tell this to people all the time. The algorithm is designed by people who work for LinkedIn or Instagram or Facebook. The goal of the algorithm is to do this, have people come to the platform, have people to stay there. The reason the algorithm has that goal, stay there as long as possible, is because that allows LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram to sell ad space. It allows them to attract other users to the platform. It allows them to be attractive to creators. It allows them to make money. So LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram could care less about you if you're not bringing people to the platform, getting them to spend some time there. So once you create content that is designed for your audience and you have all kinds of ways to bring them to the platform, they're going to come, they're going to stay, they're going to come back to see what you have to go. You want to be bingeable. You want to have enough content where if they see one thing they like and they click your profile, they want to keep looking. They want to keep swiping. They want to keep seeing what you have. So be bingeable. Then you're the algorithm's best friend. The algorithm doesn't care if that's videos, carousels. They don't care as long as your audience likes it. So focus on your audience first. And I guarantee you the algorithm is automatically going to be a byproduct of happy of what you do. It's like, it's like with my kids, using my boys as an example, they don't always care what I cook as long as they eat, right? Like it's a byproduct of the food. Like the happiness is a byproduct of food being available. So just make sure you're doing what you need to do for your audience, and that algorithm is going to be pleased. Trends will change. All of these updates will happen. But if you stay focused on your audience and stay focused on seeing how social media is going to drive that traffic to those offers, get people into your system so you have those leads, you can get those conversions, you're going to be great. Trust me on that. I'm so happy to see you guys in 2025. Make sure if we're not connected, I'm going to drop my LinkedIn in here if that's cool with you, Eugene. So y'all connect with me so I can connect with everybody. And I say y'all a lot because I'm from the South. So if you ever watch my videos, just know I'm going to say stuff like y'all, buku, lanyap, all kinds of random things. Bye.
Thank you so much. And listen, such a great presentation, and we're absolutely on the same page. Like your content is not here, like it is not here to make a sale. Your content is here to serve your people. So whenever I am about to post, or when I'm preparing my presentation, my post, I think what my people need to hear today, and I actually pray about it. And Jahmaal, you can probably resonate with that. Like, God, what message do I need to communicate with my people? Because I'm purpose-driven entrepreneur, I'm spirit-led entrepreneur, and I'm here to serve first. And of course, we all need make money, we all need to pay bills, but like it's service first. And you can be service in purpose-driven entrepreneurs 100%. So Donovan, your turn, my friend.
Hey, how's it going, Eugene?
And it's going well. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here on this panel, and I really, really do appreciate it. So, for those who don't know me, my name is Donovan. I am a computer support technician turned self-taught web developer. I run a side mentorship program called Co-Connect Mentoring, where I mentor people to get into tech, software development. I'm currently working on a AI path for my program. Currently, it's in the works. I hope to release that fairly soon, probably in the next year, 2025. So stay tuned for that. I have a couple of mentees under me. One of them just finished my program. So I got a spot open up for another mentee right now. But yeah, so working with Eugene has just been great. It's been awesome. You may saw in one of the slides I received an award. So that award, just to give you some background, I'm a part of a meetup group called Black Tech Saturdays that's based in Detroit, Michigan. And the founders, Johnny and Alexa Turnage, shout out to Black Tech Saturdays. If they're watching, anybody was watching this, or Johnny and Alexa. So I've been with that meetup group for about a year. This was a little bit before I met Eugene. It was actually that following year, actually, the end of the year. And I already had a mentorship program, but I didn't know how to market it, and I was using another platform that was just not that great. And so when I got with Eugene and started posting more on LinkedIn and started being more active on LinkedIn, Black Tech Saturdays took note of that, and I got invited to do a conference panel about my background, and I could sell my services there. And so it was a really awesome opportunity. It was the first conference that I spoke at, my first ever conference. And out of that conference, surprisingly, I won an award for it because they saw that I was engaging on LinkedIn. I was posting on LinkedIn, the LinkedIn live streams they were a big fan of. Black Tech Saturdays was sharing my LinkedIn posts and my LinkedIn events. And so they were just so amazed by it that I won an award for it. So it's just been an incredible transformation that's just happened in over a year. It's been amazing. So I'm very grateful to be here and to be in the position I am in now.
Yeah, I mean, so let me just clarify. So you won the award, you sold your consulting services, and you attract mentees all at the same time,
Yes,
right?
correct.
Okay, what's up?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was great. It's just one of those things where they were so moved by my story on how I started out as a computer support technician, how I went through the struggle of being self-taught. So I was a self-taught developer. I didn't have a mentor. So I spent, no lie, about 3 years of time wasting because I was stretching myself too thin. I was trying to learn everything under the sun, thinking that that's how developers are supposed to operate, which is incorrect. And so I told that story in great detail, and it resonated with people, and people started reaching out. And so my mission to my mentees, and I said this in the panel, that I want to help those avoid the same mistakes that I made and keep you on a path. Now, if I had a mentor like I do myself, I would have got into my career no less than 6 months, maybe a little bit more, but 6 months compared to 3 years, that's very astounding, right? So I just this is something I'm really passionate in. I don't want people to waste time like I did, and there's mentorship guidance out there, and I've been through that struggle. So again, just avoid the time wasting. Let's get you into these. Let's get you marketable. Let's get you valuable. And I do offer practice resume building, LinkedIn profile review, and practice interviews as well during my program. I've interviewed for companies on their behalf and interviewed candidates. So I've been on the interviewing side. And one of the first interviews that I did for one of my mentees during my launch my program did an excellent job. Like, he was nervous at first because he never experienced an interview. And so he was kind of sort of not really making excuses, but like, I don't know if I want to do this. But I believed in him. I was like, you have the capabilities, you have the knowledge to do this. Just give it a chance. It's not going to be that bad. I promise you, you have the knowledge. And so we did the simulation, and he knocked it out of the park. He asked good questions. He made a couple of jokes. He did the practice coding assessment where he shared the screen, and I threw him a little coding assessment to go through. He walked through his process. And so I knew that he was going to be something special. I was like, and I told him at the end, once the practice interview, and I was like, you did phenomenal. I don't know why you were so nervous. You did amazing. So that's what I like to see. I like to see and then give encouragement to people to just get out there and don't be afraid to fail, because you never know how the tide's going to turn.
Yes, you're actually like this is so near and dear to my heart. Like, first of all, like mentorship is such a transformational experience for me, and like in business and career too, right? And failure is not an option, but it's a part of the process. We're gonna fail more in our businesses than we succeed, but when we succeed, we can succeed big, we can win big because of the lessons that we learn from our failures. And in fact, I would like to rephrase that. Our failures are our lessons. It's all our lessons. Like, our best mentors and our best coaches is actually our businesses, because they teach us what works and what doesn't. We often get discouraged, like, oh, my lunch flopped. Oh, like my sales calls are not going the way I want. You get the data. So analyze your data, analyze your failures. Success leaves clues, failures too. So like you can learn from your business, and you can learn from your business faster when you have a mentor by your side. Okay, Coach Lee, hello. Hello, my friend.
Hello, hello. I'm not on screen or anything, am I? Can you see me?
I can see you. Like, are you sharing a presentation with us today?
Oh yeah, I am. I am. All right.
Okay, okay, let's go.
I guess this is what's happening because hello everybody. My name's Coach Lee. I'm a social connections coach. I help introverts make more meaningful relationships in their personal and professional life. So if you're an introvert and you were starting a business, this is going to be really difficult for you to talk to people. If you're just so introverted and connected to yourself that you don't want to go out there, you want to hide behind social media. But we learned from Elizabeth that social media is not the end all be all. You can't rely on sending those messages out to people and not showing up in person or not talking to them. So what I want to do is talk about building your network, building this know, like, and trust factor with ease, because I know it's difficult. When I first started networking, I had no idea what to do. Being an introvert, being stuck inside of my head, I had no idea what to talk about. And I had the biggest fear was that if I showed up, I had to be valuable, and I didn't think I had any value. I didn't want to pitch anyone either. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about what to do that's really going to make you more knowable, likable, and trustable. All right. So I have a question for you though. Quick poll for you all here. Find the chat, and let me know. I have a question for you. Um, what are your networking challenges? What are your networking challenges here? Is it one, describing your business clearly and concisely? Are you out there struggling to tell people exactly what it is that you do? Two, you're wondering who your referral partners are because that's something that you need to know who's going to refer you business. Three, how to ask for referrals and introductions. Do you need to know how to do that? What's your biggest challenge with one of these four? Or four, maintaining relationships after networking. Relationships are the key to your business. Relationships are the key to your growth. So let me know. Drop it in the chat. Let me see what we've got going on. We have a threes. All right, all the same. Threes. Okay, threes and fours. A lot of threes and fours. All right, we got some advanced people in here. We got some advanced in here. So threes and fours. How to ask for referrals or introductions. That's really key. We're going to talk about all of that. We're going to talk about actually value-based networking and what value-based networking is. This is the key to getting all of your needs met in your relationships with others. It's provide value. What is value? Well, it depends on where you are in your networking phase. So if you're not sure, discovery is your first phase. It's where you have no idea who you're trying to meet. You don't know who you need to meet or why you're showing up. You've just been told that you should network. So you show up at network events trying to figure it out. And I think that's why mentorship is very important. As Donovan said, you don't want to go to those places. I struggled because I had no idea what I was doing there. But when you're in discovery phase, we want to move out of that as quickly as possible. That can help with mentorship or lots of practice and time. So mentorship is the fastest route to go. The next phase we're going to move into is the intentional phase, where you know how to network, you know where to go, you know where events that might have your ideal networking partners, and you might know how to start the conversations that you need to start to create the connections that are going to help your business. And then the third one is strategic. This is where you are a master networker. You enter networking events and one-on-one conversations knowing exactly who you need to meet as well as their characteristics. You can also see down the line who they might be connected to and how you can support them in order to get to the next person or the next person that they are connected to. When you're strategic, you've been in this game for a very long time. So we want to get to that as fast as possible. So how do you get there? Well, you need these networking skills. These are the networking skills that are going to get you to where you need to be to connect with the people who are going to buy your services, who are going to help you connect with people who will buy your services, who will help you with mentorship, anything you need with your business. It's going to rely on the relationships that you have with other people. So when we start networking, we want to learn these four skills. We want to learn how we provide value, and that is explaining your business. What do you have to offer to other people? That is explaining some of your services. Who wants your services next? Who is your audience? Who wants what you're selling? Introverts are the people who come to me. Neurodivergent people come to me, and queer people come to me because that's all my messaging. I'm looking for those people. How to describe your services? How to describe your services? Well, listen, If you're talking to a networking partner who is not going to buy your services, but they like you and they walk away from the conversation with no idea of what you do, you've lost many, many sales. Because if they really like you and they see value in what you do, they're going to tell the people. They're going to tell their people. They're going to tell their network. So you have to be able to describe your services in a way that makes sense for them to understand. And then the fourth one is how to determine others' value. Now, this might be a little difficult one, but after you've been networking for a while, you can kind of figure out how people can provide value to you or to other people. So perhaps you talk to someone who has a podcast and they don't know what they could do, or maybe you talk to someone who has a whole community of entrepreneurs or solopreneurs or some business owners, and they have a specific niche, and you have someone in your network who is looking for that niche. You can marry those two together. They don't know that they can provide value in that way to you, but you know. So you let them know. This is how you determine what value they can bring to your network. So knowing that, knowing your network helps you in those spaces. That makes sense to you all? I see some head nods. All right. So, I'm going to talk about really quick value-based networking. So, if you have some anxiety about going out to networking, how do you make connections? How do you provide value? I don't know what I do. I don't know what other people do. How can I serve another person? So, the key to providing value to other people, the reason why we want to do it in the first place is to make sure that they know that we can support them in some way. We're not asking for anything from them. We want to be of service to them because the easiest way to get what you want is to help other people get what they want. Right? So here are 5 ways that you can provide value. Even if you're new in your business, you're brand new in your business, here are some of the ways that you can provide value because you are a human who has had life experiences and you know people that can also help them. So one is collaboration. Collaboration is going to do something like what we're doing right now. With Eugene invited me and some other speakers for this Black Friday to speak. And I also have a networking event, and I invited him to speak as well. And we learned and we connected and we collaborated so that we can support each other. So collaboration is key. If you have a podcast, if you are a coach who is networking with another coach, get together and do something. Get together and do something. The second way is brand awareness. Brand awareness is really, really helpful. How many of you have put out posts on LinkedIn, post on TikTok, or post on Instagram and got 0 likes? 0 likes because nobody is looking at your stuff. Guess what? You, with your brand awareness, you can click like, you can interact, you can comment, you can repost. That is valuable to them. That is valuable. You have brand awareness. You're creating brand awareness for them. You're letting people know for them. So if they have an event that's going on, if you share that, you are doing them a great service and providing value, and they will remember that. They will remember that. The third one is professional development. If you're going to networking events and you're connecting with people, they have different skills and life experiences that you have than you have. So you may be able to ask them if you have challenges, or you may be able to support them if they have challenges. Now, I want to caution you with this. Don't just go around giving people information because a lot of people aren't asking for it and they will be offended if you said, well, I think you should do this because this is what I do. They didn't ask you for that. So just make sure you get permission before you do that. But professional development has been one of the biggest things that's helped me in my networking. With networking, having people suggest because they're maybe 2, 3 years down the line than I was, and they've tackled the problem that I'm facing. So I was very grateful to get their expertise and their experience. So professional development is one of those things. The fourth one is support and encouragement. I don't know about y'all, but some days I have some bad days. I have some terrible days. I just been like, and sometimes it's rare, but sometimes I think, oh man, maybe I should go back to work, and then I snap out of it. Snap out of it. I can't go back to work. I can't do that 9 to 5. But seriously, it's hard to talk to other people about being an entrepreneur and a business owner if they're not entrepreneurs or business owners. Your family, they may be supportive of you, but they just don't know how hard it was when you lost that sale, when you really, really needed it. And it was like the 15th time, it just felt like it never ends. Although they're supportive, it's hard for you to feel like they know exactly what you're going through. But when you sit in a one-on-one with another business owner and you provide them support and you say, hey, I have been exactly where you are, and I'm on the other side of it, and you can get there too. It feels a lot better. So if you can be that person for the person that you're networking with, it goes a long way. It does. And finally, marketing insights and feedback. Marketing insights and feedback is one of those huge things that has helped me in my business. So once upon a time, I was talking to a potential client. I didn't even know it. Didn't even know it. I was so new in my business. I had no idea who I was talking to, who I was looking for. And that they had said that, oh, they have a curiosity about my business. They were asking me questions, and I didn't realize that they were interested in buying. And so they had said, you know what? At this time, I was calling myself a friendship coach. And they said, yeah, I don't know about this friendship coach thing because uh, I just don't feel like I need help making friends. But I'm like, that's what I do. I call myself a social connections coach because they had said that they felt a lot of shame and they felt like it was off-putting to be called to hire a friendship coach. And it wasn't until I got that feedback that I realized in my marketing and in my social media, when I was calling myself a friendship coach, I got a lot of people who just were upset and offended by it. I didn't quite understand until I had this conversation with this one person who explained it to me, a networking partner one-on-one explaining it to me. So now I call myself a social connections coach because I was saying the wrong thing, saying something that was off-putting, and I had no idea. But if you sit down in a low pressure conversation with someone in a one-on-one, you might be surprised. If you talk about their business, they might be surprised. You might be surprised when you talk about your business and they give you feedback that you didn't know that you needed. So that's one way. So if you're sitting in front of someone whose service sounds kind of interesting to you, but there are this, and that would stop you from buying or that aren't quite clear, I think you can feel free to ask them for permission to give them the insight that you have for them. Because for me, it's changed my business and I'll forever be grateful. So those are 5 ways that you can provide value for others. Now, I want to quickly go through. If you have any questions, I'm definitely going to drop my information in the chat, but I really want to quickly go through one other thing, and that is building this know, like, and trust factor. So building the know, like, and trust factor, bringing it all together is remembering the different opportunities that you have to provide value. And I saw somebody take a screenshot. It's all available for you. I don't have it here. Okay, but I'll make sure to drop it in the chat as well. And if you want this presentation, let me know. I will make sure to give it to you. Build authentic rapport. So when you're having conversations with people, make sure to be authentic. And the final one is demonstrate trustworthiness and competency. I'm a big fan of actionable steps. So when you're demonstrating trustworthiness and competency, that means that you show up in a manner in which people know that you know what you're talking about and you will do what you say you're going to do. One way that I like to do this is when I'm having a one-on-one conversation with someone, I make plans to take action on their behalf. So if I'm going to make an introduction to them, I'm going to make an introduction for someone or to someone for them, I'm going to let them know in the call or in the conversation, and I will let them know a time frame in which I will do that, and I will execute on that time frame. What that demonstrates to them is that I will say what I'm going to do. I have control of my time and my calendar. And also, you are important to me. I made time for this to happen. So that's one quick way to demonstrate trustworthiness and competency. So I wanted to talk quickly about, say one more thing, but quality meetings. Quality meetings, if you're not going to virtual networking meetings, or you're not going to physical networking meetings, start getting out there and start talking to people. It's going to go a long way. There's no algorithmic piece to it as well, but building those relationships, just like Donovan has, and just like I think some other people here have, Eugene has his own community as well. So building those networks is really going to help you out. So they talk about relationships rather than needs, rather than getting leads. They encourage one-on-one conversations. They talk about supporting each other, and you can find them on LinkedIn, Facebook, and you can just talk to people. Last thing that I'll say here is that I have my own networking event. It's called the CEOs. We are the CEOs networking because we believe collaboration in education equals opportunities for success. We meet on the first Thursdays of the month. Our next meeting is December 5th. You are going to get professional education there. We always have a speaker, and we also have two breakout sessions so that you can go and meet other people. It's always a fantastic time. You're always going to meet a lot of great people there. So check us out. I'll drop the links and the information in the chat. Again, my name is Coach Lee, Social Connections Coach. I'd love to help you make more meaningful relationships. Let's connect on LinkedIn. Check out my website, and that will do it for me.
All right. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you so much. Listen, we have two more presenters, just two more presenters. So, and listen, as you know, it's going to be amazing. So, and after that, like I will open a little bit of time for Q&A. So, we might be a little bit over time if it is cool with you. But if you want to stick for Q&A, please stick with it for Q&A. You can ask questions. You can ask me questions and our guests as well. And Jahmaal, the stage is yours.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Right, sweet. I'm gonna try to keep this short and sweet because we only have 20 minutes left. I want to really honor everyone's time. So I'll be a little bit like Liz. So I am a certified counselor, coach, podcast host, and mental health practitioner. And I love being a certified counselor because that allows me to do not only therapy, coaching, but it also allows me to operate in the clinical while not being a LPC because that would limit the way I can practice with my clients. You've heard a lot about mindset here, and that's a word that's been overused since 2020. So I'm just like, if I hear the N word one more time, but again, for individual contributors, you are your star player. I cannot stress that enough. So I've worked with CEOs and senior leaders at Zillow, at Nike, at Amazon, at Carta, just to name a few. But I also work with individual contributors who are also coaches themselves. And one of the main things I work on is root causes of the mind and the subconscious. So we tackle both stress and burnout at the root with proven methods to maximize your time, to 2x your time and maximize your productivity. Now we see the P word in everything. Everyone's talking about productivity. But what I love about efficiency, when I say maximize, I mean being efficient. What productive people get done in 9 hours, efficient people get done in 4 hours. Productivity is all about how much are we getting done. If you think about us as individual contributors, as entrepreneurs, we're always like, how much work am I getting done? Efficient people say, how can I get that done quicker? And what can I cut? What can I cut out? What is the excess? What are the things that don't need to be there? And it's not just all the surface level stuff. What's going on in the subconscious mind that I think I need all of that excess? And so part of my unique modality is not to work on behavior. Raise your hand or drop a one in the chat if you've heard the term CBT, and that would be cognitive behavioral. I know you do, Eugene, because you work in mental health. Cognitive behavioral therapy. Now, I want to stop and say there is merit for that. Cognitive behavioral therapy is good. I'm trained in it. However, guess what? The limit is your behavior. So let's take, for example, Michael B. Jordan. Now, I think he's in pretty good shape, but let's take him from 2017 prior. He would get in great shape for movies, and then he would kind of go back to what his body type was because he was modifying his behavior for a season. My unique modality is to work on the belief that informs the behavior. That is one of my trademarks. That is where the magic happens. And so let me give you an example of one of my clients. When they came to me, they were a coach. They had two clients. By the time we were done at the end of 90 days, they had 12 clients. So they more than quadrupled their enrollment. And you know how people tell you they'd be giving you like what happened with their clients and everything like that. You can go to my recommendation section on LinkedIn on my website and see it for yourself. It's like, man, you capping. Like no cap here. I believe in getting people results, and I believe that results should be tangible. Again, people are all talking about mindset a lot, but for business owners, your business is going to grow to the degree that you do. That's a lot of what Eugene was talking about. And so I have business owners all the time that sign up for stuff, and then it's almost like going into a restaurant, getting a really expensive plate, and then not eating any of it. How many programs have you signed up for and you didn't touch it? And then a year later, you're like, oh man, I got them videos I'm supposed to watch, or I got that thing I'm supposed to sign on for, and let me contact the administrator so I can get my login back. You didn't do the work because the mind wasn't there. The mind is the control tower to the body. And so, in order for you to bet on yourself, which Eugene talked about earlier, it starts from the inside out. It starts in the inner sanctum. And that's the work that I do with clients. One thing I've noticed, especially being active in the LinkedIn space, is that most wellness coaches, and I'm going to put quotes around that, they over deliver on marketing and messaging, and they under deliver on products and services. Half of my clientele come from being burned by some so-called coach who didn't get them any results. And I'm just like, man, it sucks because it makes onboarding a little bit more difficult for me, but it also gives me trackable data to understand this is what I'm working with. And if you think about Eugene's cracking me up, snatching edges. Yeah, we come up everybody's wig today. If you think about post 2020, something I used to put on my website, I took it down, but I said, look, I'm not one of those COVID coaches that got, laid off from a job and decided to become a coach. I've been doing what I've been doing for over 16 years, working with clients for 11 years and then 16 years experience in the field. And so people say, what's your claim to fame? Like, I actually know what I'm doing, and I'm here to get you results. Because I think that's what's most important. When a person sits down with you to invest their time and their revenue, you better make good on that product. I have a conviction about over delivering. And so one size doesn't fit all. I love that I've been hearing that multiple times today. And I believe that coaching, counseling, therapy, whatever you're doing for your client should be data informed. And so if you have a quote unquote program, people are enrolling folks into programs, and then people are spending thousands, hundreds or thousands of dollars and not getting results because it goes right over their head because it's not for them. When I'm at my healthy weight, I'm 5'10" with a 32-inch waistline, but I can guarantee you a pair of pants will fit different from me, different on Eugene, different on Curtis, different on Donovan, because we all have different body types. One of us may have larger thighs, or you just never know. And so I want to make sure for all of my products that I'm being informed by the data of my clients specifically. Uh, I want people to save the time I wasted. Donovan said that earlier. And so I work highly in the area of boundaries. And I'm not trying to throw any shade on anybody's brand because I see this word on LinkedIn sometimes, confidence coach. And I'm like, okay. I don't know if any of y'all ever have done like, boxing or gotten in the ring. I know a lot of people who have gotten in the ring confident and got knocked out. I don't really want my clients to be too confident, not in the nature of what I want them to do. I want them to be aware. Confident people can make foolish decisions. Aware people make smart decisions. They're very lean in what they do, and they get phenomenal results. I got over 68 recommendations listed, and those are the people who have written the recommendations on LinkedIn. Other ones are on my website, but it is so important that we do the work from the inside out. Because one, when you maximize your productivity, when you 2x your time, time is money. For everyone hearing the sound of my voice, everyone who's going to see this play back, time is money. I want you to be able to have the time and to be able to gain the time back that you've lost or that you've been wasting because of what's going on in your subconscious mind. Again, I got to keep this short and sweet. I've been trying to be pretty quick about this because I believe in honoring time and being lean. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop in here my LinkedIn profile just for you all to connect with me there. If I'm not already connected with you, I'd love to connect with you. And another thing I have, and just for even those who are going to see this play back, or for those who are you're going to send this to, I have a digital product. And one thing I've done with this digital product is called the Burnout Mini Course, is I've taken all the guesswork out of all the work I've done with clients over the years and tailored this to whoever is going to see it and put cheat codes in. There's a whole workbook available in this mini course. And this normally retails around $400. Today for Black Friday, especially for those who are here, up until Cyber Monday, it is going to be $97. So I've knocked it off and made it a steal of a deal. because I don't want money to be an issue. People say, oh, I don't know if I can afford that. And then they got a Birkin. I say one thing about my field, and I'm thankful to be able to do a business running off a lot of inbound leads, is that sometimes a person's mental health and their wellness and their mindset is the last thing they invest in, but the first thing that they need because they've been business owner for years. And like, why haven't I been able to make my sale? It's because of what you believe. So I'm going to link that. It's a little QR code right here. I'm going to link that to you guys and just put it in here. Just so you guys can take full advantage of this. And if you don't say, okay, well, maybe that's not me, send it to someone who will. I want as many people as possible to take advantage of this. So, Eugene, thanks so much for the stage. I hope I didn't talk too fast, but I want to make sure Talea can really get the chance to shine and that everybody has a chance to present. So, God bless you guys.
Yeah, listen, this is so good. Look, um, we have about like 9 minutes left. So we're probably going to be a little bit over time. So if you want to stay for Q&A, please stay for Q&A, and please stay for Talea's presentation because Talea is doing an amazing, amazing work. So Talea, the stage is yours, my friend.
Hello, everyone. Eugene, thank you so much for having me today. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on this Black Friday. My name is Talea Dindy. I am a 13-year cancer thriver. I am a cancer doula, as well as a health and wellness advocate. Today, I am here with my health and wellness coach and advocate hat on to talk about using resilience and self-care to fuel your business in 2025. So I don't know about you, but this time of year is really stressful. It used to be in the past for me. So as I talk with you all, please keep this one question in mind. What does true success look like for you? And how does it relate to your overall well-being? Because actually your well-being is part of success. Your health and well-being all play a part in that. And as you know, today, as we pull back the curtain on the world of entrepreneurship, let's explore how we can prioritize our well being and how the importance of our well being significantly impacts our success. As I mentioned, this time of year, how many of you can relate to just feeling very overwhelmed? The holidays are coming, you're trying to meet all these goals for your business. That actually was me. I was usually trying to meet goals for the year, wrap up projects, podcast episodes, trying to strategize and plan for the next year. And then you have the holiday expectations. All of that was really draining for me because I'm an introvert. And so for the introverts out there, I know you can relate. But that all changed for me in 2022. I read this book by Tricia Hersey, and it's called Rest is Resistance. And Tricia said that rest saved her life. And I believe her because it saved mine too. And I realized after reading that book that rest was not a luxury, it was a necessity. And so I want to just talk to you about a couple of different things, and I'll go through it kind of quickly and then do a quick recap. And you can always reach out to me on LinkedIn if you would like to connect further. But the one thing I want to talk about is the impact of stress on entrepreneurs. And some common stressors that we face are financial worries, long hours, isolation, fear of failure. All of those things contribute to our stress. But, as Eugene and the previous speaker shared, there are different strategies and tools that you can use to minimize a lot of those stressors. Those stressors can negatively impact our productivity, creativity, and decision making, which all again can impact your business. Now, resilience. Well, what really is resilience? Because we hear that word a lot. In a very blunt way to put it, it's bouncing back. It's bouncing back from challenges, having that ability to face adversity, trauma, significant stress, and bounce back from them. But not only bounce back, but learn from them. And use that as a way to move forward in a positive way, to have a more positive outlook. Don't get stuck in negativity. So, how do you build resilience? Actually, developing a growth mindset. A growth mindset is actually the foundation of resilience. And of course, taking care of yourself, nurturing a positive view of yourself, appreciating your strengths, not talking down and talking bad about yourself, practicing mindfulness and meditation, set those realistic goals. As Eugene and the others mentioned earlier, that's so important, is understanding what are those goals and are they realistic, accepting change. And then also, as Coach Lee was mentioning, building on those strong support networks. So for me, I'm a podcaster, so I'm a part of the Black Podcasters Association. I'm a business owner, so I'm a part of New World Women. I have mentors, and then of course my friends and family play a big part in that as well. So now let's move on to the role of self-care. That term is everywhere too. But let's talk about this. Self-care, it is not selfish. It is not being rude. None of those things. It's actually a necessity for sustainable success. It's a must. And it's actually self-preservation. It's essential for maintaining a healthy mind and body. If we don't take care of ourselves, we can't take care of others or our businesses. Think about that for a minute. If you're sick, you're losing time from your business. So let's figure out ways to take care of ourselves so our bodies don't say, hey, it's time for you to sit down. And you can plan your rest so your body doesn't do it for you and you're shocked, you're surprised. There are some ways that you can prioritize self-care, and that is making sure you get enough rest. Stop, if you can, stop working at a set time every day. Have a wind down routine. And that means, what are some rituals, some things that you can do to help you prepare and wind down, to tell your body and your mind that, hey, it's time to start preparing for rest, for sleep. That can look like taking a nice hot bath, listening to soothing music, writing in your journal. Those are just some ideas that I'm throwing out there. Some other ways for self-care are eating healthy foods, stay away from the boxed, processed foods, engaging in physical activity. That can look like a quick 20 to 30-minute walk, jumping rope, lifting weights, whatever it is that will get you moving and away from your desk. And then taking those breaks. If you can't afford to go on a vacation, go to a new spot, explore new places in your community. There's so many different things out there that you can do that don't require a lot of money and travel. And then finally, I want to talk about integrating resilience and self-care into your daily life. So some strategies for incorporating self-care into busy schedules. That can look like, checking in with yourself regularly and paying attention to what your body is telling you. If your body is telling you that it's tired, take a quick nap. 20-minute naps have done wonders for me. And that's okay if you need to do that. Also, it's important to schedule self-care on your calendar, just like you would all your important meetings, because again, self-care is important. Take 5 to 10 minutes a day to journal and nurture your thoughts, your feelings, and emotions. And if you can, totally unplug. At the end of the day, get off your phone. Don't check emails in the middle of the night. All of those things can wait till the next day. And also, there's some time management techniques that you can utilize as well. Prioritization. What is an important task that you need to get done in this moment? Time blocking, allocating specific time slots for different activities. Avoiding multitasking. That was my big problem. Like, I tried to do 3 or 4 things at once and would be so frustrated at the end of the day because I only did one thing. And I'm like, what the heck was I doing? I was trying to do too much, as they say. So avoid multitasking if you can. And this is another one, delegate tasks. If you have the means to hire help, delegate those tasks that are not a big priority for you. Where can you best utilize your skills? What are things that you really don't like to do? Those are things that you delegate. And this is a huge one for me. It's setting boundaries and saying no. I got it down pat now, but this was something I really had to work on. And no is a complete sentence. You don't need an explanation. And it's very important to protect your time, your energy, and your peace. And simply, you cannot be everything to everyone. So don't be afraid to decline additional work or commitments. And so, to recap everything that I've just shared, we talked about the importance of building resilience, self care, how all of these things play an impact on your business success. And that's why we're in business, of course, to help people, to provide products and services. But actually, that's our way of life. It's our way that we create a living for ourselves and our families. And so, in order to do that, we have to be our best selves. So, think about the impact of stress that you have as an entrepreneur, and how can you minimize that stress. Think about resilience and how you can build your resilience, and then self-care, and then pulling it all together and integrating resilience and self-care into your daily life. And so, we all want to, a healthier and more fulfilling life. And so I actually offer a 30-minute discovery call for people who are interested, and I'll share that information in the chat. But as a health and wellness coach and wellness advocate, I can use proven strategies to help you reduce stress and burnout, enhance your energy levels and your focus, also improve your work-life balance and build resilience. And so those are some of the things that we can do together. Everything is personalized. It's very important to not try to use the cookie cutter option. It just does not work. Everyone's different. Everyone's in a different place. We all have different needs. And so I will wrap up by saying one of my favorite quotes is by Lena Horne. And hopefully this quote speaks to you the way that it spoke to me. And it's not the load that breaks you down, it's the way that you carry it. Again, it's not the load that breaks you down, it's the way that you carry it. So think about this when you feel the pressure and stress of fueling your business success in 2025. How are you carrying your load? And how are you honoring your health and well being? And with that, that is it for my presentation. Again, my name is Talea Dendi. I am a health and wellness coach. I am a cancer doula. I can talk to you about cancer. I can talk to you about straight up health and wellness. So thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Wonderful. Listen, first of all, I want to thank everybody for being here, for staying with us. And I know we're like 3 minutes over time, but I would like to open the floor for questions. If you have a question, you can raise your hand and you can ask your question, and you can ask me a question, or if you have a question for our presenters, I'm sure they will be happy to answer your questions as well. So, and also you like if you're not comfortable like speaking on the like on Zoom, you can also drop your questions in the chat. So let us know if you have any questions. But it's such an honor to like really have each and every one of you today, and your time is extremely valuable, and you being here like means everything to me, like seriously everything to me. Such an amazing community. And um I was debating actually, like, do I want to do Black Friday like event because like everybody is all over the place, people are visiting towns, but like I'm so happy that like what 15, 13, like we well, I guess we lost two people show up today. And thank you so much for showing up for the community and showing up for yourself. I truly, truly appreciate each and every one of you. So again, if you would like to sign up for a membership, for a mentorship with me, these are the links. You can schedule one-on-one consultation call if you need help to make a decision. And also, if anyone from our presenters resonated with you, and you think, you know what, this is what I've been looking for, this is what I'm missing in my life or in my business, please connect with them. Please start a conversation. Please make an introduction. So, well, going once, going twice, like any questions, any questions? Also, like I would like to hear from you, and you can come up on the you can raise your hand or drop in the chat. What resonated with you today? What is the biggest lesson? What is the biggest takeaway that you're walking away from this event today? I would like to hear that. For me, it was for sure mental health and wellness. Yes, Talia.
I was just going to say, I really just like the various topics that everyone talked about, but how they all clearly tie into running a business. And quite frankly, a lot of these things are not things that I thought about when I first started my business. No one says you need to focus on your mental health. You need to focus on your wellness. You need to, work on networking. So just being able to get all these things in one place is a blessing.
Yes, and you know what? The way I planned this event was very, very simple. I literally just reach out to those amazing individuals, like, "Hey, do you want to speak? Like, I really like what you do. You want to speak? You want to speak? You want to speak?" I didn't, and a lot of people were overwhelmed and say like, "Oh, like, what should I present? Like, whatever you want. Like, you have 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, so you can present." So by all means. And this is so incredibly good, and I am so grateful. And I think it's like I truly believe it's a work of spirit that we're so aligned and we're so on the same page, and we basically communicating the same message from a different angle. So like yeah, like really, really grateful for you. Like so really need to have a plan with client activities and with personal rest. Yes. Yeah, you are your biggest asset. Rest is an asset. And more importantly, once you know, like when you know your problem, right? When you know what to focus on with the right positioning, with the right messaging, with the self-care prioritization, with catering to your mental health, understanding understanding your technology, getting help with your technology, like you can make that happen absolutely. And I really wish that 2025 will be profitable year for you, either if you're growing or if you're maintaining and documenting. I wish you blessings, I wish you prosperity. And again, please connect with our amazing speakers. And I have one hand raised. April, the lavologist. Hello.
I was just gonna say this stuck out to me. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. This stuck out to me, but no one's may it may not have been said, but it was raised up in my mind. And that is that one of my biggest challenges in my business is that I'm hiding behind the shame of now having to um, because I have a disability and struggling to get off the disability income train, shall I say. And I really realized that today. I don't think anybody said anything about shame, but anyway, just listening to different people and different things that really exploded in my head a little while ago. And thank you for triggering that in my mind.
Yes, yes. I think honestly, I was talking to my friends and my partner, and the shame, it's real. And somebody said to me, Eugene, I think the only person who is the harshest on you right now is actually you. Nobody demands from you as much as you demand from yourself. So I think you just need to chill for a minute, because everybody understands, everybody sees your work, but it seems like you're the greatest person who like demands unreasonable and puts unreasonable expectations like on yourself. So that's so good. Well,
Hey,
thank you
Eugene,
so
real
much.
quick. I
Yes.
just want to speak to what April said. And I think, the more and more we go deeper into study, we learn the difference between guilt and shame. Guilt is what we have done. There's some crimes where it's like, okay, you are guilty as charged. The disability is not something that you have done. It has just happened. Shame says this is who you are. Then we began to identify with that. And if you think about, and I know people here may have a different belief system, but let's just say for the last 6,000 years, we are the only creatures who do not wear our birthday suit. If any of you guys have dogs, if you have fish, if you have whatever, they are literally right now wearing their birthday suit, but we have clothes on. You know, one of the consequences of the fall in Genesis 3 was that they automatically sowed fig leaves and covered themselves up. So we are used to, we are preconditioned almost to cover something, to feel like something is wrong, and then to cloak ourselves in things that we prop up. And sometimes that can either bury us, or if we see it the right way, it can buoy us up and become our superpower. So when I heard you say I have a disability, I'm like, that's a part of her story. That's a part of her brand. That's the very thing that's going to accelerate her. And the very thing that we think is the mud that can sink us becomes the platform that we serve others on. So I don't know if I'll see you again, but I'm excited for you and your brand and excited for where God's going to take you. So that's all I wanted to say to you.
And you know, Jamal, it's not in the Bible, but in Apocrypha that allegedly that Adam and Eve had divine bodies that were shining the light, and that light was dim after the fall, and this is why they needed like the clothes. So for us, it's really reconnecting with that divine being that we were created in the image of God and like releasing that shame. Absolutely. Um, Charlotte, did I say your name correctly? I apologize if I didn't. So, how do I
It's
say your name?
okay. Charlotte.
Charlene. Okay.
Yes,
What's up?
yes, sir. Yes, sir. I just want to thank you guys for putting this forum together. It's been absolutely phenomenal. The only thing that I would say that, well, for me that I struggle with is that just like self-doubt and stuff like that, especially if you're doing something for a very long time and you switch to another thing. Like, for example, you're working like 20 plus years for people that didn't really treated you like trash, but yet you're transitioning into entrepreneurship. That's what I struggle with, self-doubt. So I wanted to ask possibly Jahmaal and Talia, how do you navigate when it comes to like self-doubt?
Well, for me, I can understand what you're talking about because I actually transitioned from corporate America, had been there ever since I graduated from college. And what I did was I really started using a lot of affirmations, and I started
Okay.
really talking about, what are my core strengths? What are people telling me that I'm really good at? And does that resonate with what I think I'm good at? And seeing where the gaps are and really getting clear, number one, on who I am and what I have to offer. I think those are some things that were really critical for me. But then also not being afraid to show up in your true self. Yes, you did transition from corporate, but I know you have a ton of skills that can transition as well. And so leverage those skills also. And then don't compare yourself to other people. Some people may be doing things a certain way. That doesn't mean that you have to. You have to get in your lane and be comfortable being in your lane and not trying to do all the things that everyone else is doing. Figure out what works best for you. And then that's going to help you to feel more confident in what you're doing and how you're showing up. And so those are some things that worked for me. I hope that was helpful.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Yes, yes, it was.
Charlotte, I'll put it to you this way. You already have everything you need. And I know like it's like, well, I'm looking, where does the data say that? I don't know if anyone here has
Right.
worked in talent acquisition and recruiting, but some of the best recruiters understand transferable skills. And so everything you've done in your job for the last 20 so odd years, there's a transfer and it's actually prepared you and brought you to this point. And so when you can find out what is the marriage between what I have done and what I am doing, that is your hedgehog, which you are good
Okay.
at, you love to do, and what people will pay you for. And so just I'm sure you've already collected data. That's what dating is. Anybody who here is married, you went on a date first, dating is
Right.
just collecting data. Collect some data on you. A lot of times we love collecting data on other people. Collect some data on Charlotte and say, okay, where is my hedgehog? And it won't only destroy the self-doubt. What it'll do is it'll put you out there where you won't even be looking to imitate another person's brand. You'll say, this is my brand. This is my voice, because that's what people are trying to find is you. Like right here, you've been given a unique fingerprint from God. No one can do what you do. I can't do what you can do. There's people who out there, they won't listen to me, but they'll listen to you. They're going to hear you. And ultimately, the thing is for you to get out of your own way. We heard Lauren Hill say,
Right.
I'm focused on the shadow with my back turned to the light, to intelligence to see me in a way. So once you can get out of your way, God can have his way. And so I'm just
Thank
excited
you.
for you really to explode on the world because they don't need another Eugene, another me, another Coach Lee, Donovan, who they need you. And there are people who are waiting on you. When you realize that, okay, time is eating away, and this folks been waiting for me, and that's why I left that job and I'm in the season I'm in now, you move with some urgency. And so ultimately, once it's solved here, the rest will take care of itself.
And
Thank
hey,
y'all.
like,
I appreciate y'all. I really do. Thank y'all.
it's for
All
real
of y'all.
though, because
Yeah.
listen, it's just a part of the journey because even in business and like after you leave corporate, because like one thing, and I
Hmm.
like it's relatable to me because listen, after what like 8 years working in tech and fighting for my career in tech because it was so hard.
Yes,
Entrepreneurship is
that
a lot
part.
harder. But
Right.
like okay, what am I doing? You know, like asking myself like, hey, like you spend hours like teaching yourself how to code, teaching yourself how to do the like those things, but actually it's looking at my purpose because I was doing coaching when I was like back in school. Like people inviting me for corporate team coaching as a clinical psychologist. And back then, that was not necessarily something we clear understood what coaching was. It's just like, oh, you're a psychologist, so like I can get along with my team. Can you come to us? And it's normally small startups. Can you come to us and talk to us and see what we're doing wrong, why we're not getting along. The same with people, and in Russia it was a little different. So in Russia we don't necessarily have like licenses. It's we have practices, right, like required by law, but like we're a little bit have more freedom. And like some people came to me for therapy, clinical therapy with like mental health disorders, but a lot of my clients came to me because they needed that mentorship and coaching, right? And instead, it's being true to yourself. And here's another thing that I'm realizing and learning from my business: just because you are walking in your purpose and in your alignment doesn't mean it will be easy or it gets easier.
Mhm.
Sometimes getting in your alignment will get harder at first before it gets easier. And we often think, oh, God is doesn't want me to do this business because like I don't have any leads, I don't have any sales, I don't like I'm failing all the time. But look at heroes in the Bible like Job, for example, like he lost everything and he was faithful person. So before it gets easier, it might get harder, and your assignment can feel like a burden for you at first, but then you're learning how to do the ropes, and like it I wish I could say it gets easier. You just acquiring new skills to deal with difficulties and create flow and create momentum. Once you learn how to create momentum, then it's just like it's just doing the reps. Like, okay, what do I need right now? Do I need leads? Okay, my messaging is off, or like am my conversion rate like off, or am I talking to the wrong people? And it's just like and it's continuous and continuous iteration.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, everybody. I know we're way over time, but like it's so good to have everybody. Yes, April, the recording will be available. I will be sending email with the recording attached and with all the information attached. So if you didn't catch, or like if you're like, hey, I really would like to like listen to Taleo or Jamal or Donovan or Elizabeth or whatever again, because we dropped so many lessons, so many gems today. It will be available today, and a little bit later in the evening, I will be restreaming the recording. So like, please come blow up the comment section. So other people who did not come and who weren't able to come today, so they at least come on LinkedIn and join us there. Well, thank you so much. I will see you on them LinkedIn streets. Okay. All right. Bye, y'all.